Welcome all to another episode of Party Bonus, a sketch comedy podcast with a tinge of horror where indie artists come together and try and flex their comedy improv muscles. My name is Zach.
I'm Dev.
My name is Bush Clydesdale.
Oh, we got the Bush Clydesdale in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Gosh, it's Bush, the one who did 9/11.
Oh, no!
They call me W. Bush W. Clydesdale. At your service. You need any weapons of mass destruction found? Because I'm like a hound.
That was my favorite president from Texas, is Bush W. George.
Number 2.
Dose. Ain't the OG.
2 George, 2 Bush.
2 George, 2 Bush, 2 Tower.
Ain't the OG just the no T. The T is for terrorists. No terrorists allowed.
In case this is your first time tuning into our podcast, welcome. This is a little podcast of us artists and writers where we just like to come together, do a little chit chats, have some good times. And you know what, guys? This is our first episode of the new year. It's the 2025 year, and this is our first episode. Guys, what the hell is going on? It's been a minute since we've seen and talked. How we all doing? Let's party up.
Dev, you first.
Me first?
You first.
All right. What's my party bonus? I mean, I'm looking forward to 2025. I know a lot of people aren't, but I am, because I'm turning 30 this year, and that's
yeah,
that's cool. I lived that long. That's awesome. And then it's better than the alternative, right? My stepdad says that all the time. It's great.
Wise words.
Very wise words. I used to work at an old folks home, and I would repeat that joke to them too, and it was like their favorite thing.
Every time I did it, it was new.
Yeah. But yeah, my party bonus for this week is I miraculously found some brand name shoes, Steve Madden's, in my exact size at a thrift store for only $20, which retail price for those is $130. So massive fucking deal. And they're like new. They're just like perfect. They're wingtip Oxfords. So they're like the fancy,
some wingtips,
kind of dressy kind. Yeah, it's like, it's not like Steve Madden isn't like a Gucci type brand or anything, but like you're not going to find it at Walmart. You would find it at like Men's Warehouse, you know, like it's kind of ritzier. So it's a good find. I'm big into men's fashion. You wouldn't be able to tell it from watching this podcast because I'm always wearing my pajamas, but
they're rad pajamas.
Yeah. Nice though. Good stuff. Sean, how about you?
My party bonus. My party bonus is playlisting, because that's the only thing that has occupied my time other than work and editing. It's playlisting, keeping track of musical things to distract your brain, and also thematically playlisting specifically. I heart me some playlisting. Boy, have I been playlisting. It's been a hateful job lately. A hateful job.
Is that the theme that you've been rolling with? Hate?
I made one today that was called, just think about what this could be. Withhold, withstand, withdraw.
Whoa. Okay.
So it's safe to say things are getting pretty radical over here. And by that, I mean not on the way that a surfer would be stoked.
It would be a good title. It would, well, for Sean's playlist, it would be a good title of "Give Me Something to Break."
It's exactly like the exact same sentiment.
Yes. So, and it would start off with the Limp Bizkit Mission Impossible theme song.
oh no.
Yeah, I just can't speak it into existence as nearly as elegantly as a Frederick Durst would. So,
in the words of the Frederick Durst,
that's how I have to do it. It's as simple as that.
Frederick Durst.
I did it all for the Noki.
Person, worst man alive.
Frederick Durstless.
He's the Durstless.
How did I just conflate Frederick Douglass and Just, I need a minute.
You know, the only way that he could salvage his career as if his career needed salvaging was if he rebranded himself as Frederick the Dirstless. The Durstless.
Frederick
the Durstless.
To what is the meme from Elders? What do they call you an elder? Elden Ring. Jesus,
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Elden Scrolls.
It's not. It's not unwashed. Whatever. Ignore me.
The unwashed.
I digress.
That's what it should be.
Sorry, completely unrelated. It was maidenless.
The unwashed. Sorry, guys. I meant the
I
nameless.
think that was that whole thing was a collective shared ADHD moment we had together.
It's only 12:30 a.m. here.
Guys, this podcast is a trio of ADHD. You guys are in for a ride.
It's not going anywhere important, but it's going to be fun.
I hope you guys like merry-go-rounds.
Wherein we repeat everything we talked about last week.
Yes. My party bonus is, it's a weird feeling because I don't like New Year's, okay? In general. I don't like a New Year or the holiday. But, you know, I have been kind of looking forward to this year, too, because, there's some things popping off, and I'm looking forward to that, you know. Podcast is rolling on in. It's a couple more stories coming out. So, you know, I'm just trying to roll with the punches and hope it don't knock all my teeth out.
Don't we all? I had a game that I wanted to play with you gentlemen.
Oh, I love me some games.
Similar to kind of what we had done in, I think it was episode 1 or 2, where I sent y'all that picture of me holding up the sign. And I had y'all kind of guess wrong answers only what the sign said.
Yeah.
And I didn't pull this up ahead of time because I had an ADHD moment, so give me a minute. All right, so I was out driving, as I often do, being a delivery driver, and I found I had to deliver a bouquet to a church for a funeral. It was closed because it wasn't fucking Sunday, and so I'd gone all the way out there for nothing, but I'm wandering around trying to find somebody, and it's like the weirdest Catholic church I've ever seen. They had a gift shop. Why? But they also had this little plaza. Yeah, I know.
If you were in an IKEA.
I know, and it's not even like one of them touristy chapels either. Like,
Damn.
I'd understand at like the Benedictine chapel having a gift shop, but this was like an obscure one in Green Valley, Arizona, a retirement community. But anyway, so they had this little plaza you could walk down into, and there was a rectangular cement table. It was kind of just this brutalist architecture, and there were like 12 seats around it. I think 12, and they were all just like cement blocks. And on one of these seats was seated a statue of Jesus.
Oh shit!
Just kind of sitting there, just sitting there, and
creeping on people as they walk by.
Yeah,
hey,
and like
how you doing?
Because I didn't grow up particularly religious, I forgot that communion was a thing. He has like a cup in front of him, so I thought he was just like having a cup of coffee or something, just like sitting there. Then I go up to him.
Was the cop having a cup of coffee with Jesus?
I wish. No, it was a cup of wine. He's holding a piece of bread.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
But
Wait, that's his blood. That's weird.
Yeah, so I'm going to send you 2 pictures. One is just me posing with Jesus, and one is, so I hadn't had my lunch break yet, and I realized anybody could sit at this table. And so I thought, like, maybe I should have lunch with Jesus, right? But what would be the funniest thing to eat next to Jesus? And so I took a picture both posing with him and of the thing I decided to eat next to Jesus. I'm going to send it to you guys. And I want you to tell me what it is that Jesus and I are having for lunch. Wrong answers only.
Oh, we're playing wrong answers only. All right. Nice.
So
I do enjoy this game.
This track's so strange to me, and I have to explain this in a kind of localized way. So let me explain There's a amusement park by us that is the now yearly tradition. A good one is to go to the amusement park in the winter, at Christmas time when Zach's here, and there is exactly like this, a bench in the amusement park, but you sit down and it says, a big sign above it says you're swapping yarns with Cowboy Joe at Kenny Woods. It looks exactly like this. I really want to put a cowboy hat on Jesus and swap yarns.
If only he had like one leg thrown up over the other with a pair of cowboy boots under that toga.
He looks like he's eating a sandwich.
He looks like he's eating a sandwich and wearing a robe, like a Hugh Hefner robe.
Like a bathrobe.
Yeah.
He's the secret is that he's not actually Jesus. He's just Jeff Bridges' character from The Big Lebowski.
You know what?
It's just the dude.
Yeah. You know what you came across is Jared Leto in doing method acting. So you're actually sitting with Jared Leto right now, and he's working on a new character. Not a new character, just one he enjoys to do very much.
He's got the 1,000
statue
there,
Jesus.
so I think it's definitely the one from Blade Runner sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? That's not bread. That's
Jesus.
That's spam.
Wishes he had a McRib.
Yo.
Oh, don't reveal it. Don't reveal the surprise.
Oh,
Jesus is eating. Jesus
Stop me.
is
Edit
eating
that out.
spam. Yeah, Jesus is eating spam, is what he's eating in his hands. Because what's best after a nice hot, well, in his case, cold shower, is a can of spam. Nice slice of spam. Break that mother's right in half.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Don't even cook it. Just eat it raw.
Raw. Because back then,
the spam.
starting a fire was a whole thing. It was a process. It was quicker to just eat it right out of the can. It might not taste better, but no one's worried about taste back then.
Quicker indeed. However, I'm not a degenerate, so I did put mine in a sandwich.
Shit. Jesus, he's a stickler. He's a stickler for gluten. So he's always got to have his. He's always got to have his fish and chips with gluten-free breading on it.
Calls it as a vitamin G.
Looks like he loves himself a little fish and chips is what I see happening right there.
Yeah.
Because he was like, one time, let me tell you a little story about fish. One time, I was out in the desert with a bunch of these jamokes, and they had nothing to eat. So I took a fish, and I broke it up in a bunch of little tiny pieces, and they said I fed everyone. I just gave them a little bite to eat. No one was full.
Yeah, actually, the sandwich that he gave me was... I didn't actually have a sandwich. I didn't have anything to eat at all. But he said, don't worry, homie, I got you. And he conjured a fish sandwich for me. He made all those bread. He made all those fish. So he uses Jesus magic. That's how that works, right?
He did it. He did it in straight magician fashion, just clapped his hands together. And then there was a McRib inside of it. Abracadabra, my child.
The McFish.
Oh, you left the bone in it, you dick.
Yo, Jesus, not enough mayo, dog. Not enough mayo.
I had considered, I'll tell you what I had considered doing is I had considered getting Wonder Bread and grape soda. But I don't like either of those is the issue, and I wouldn't have wanted to eat them for lunch. You know what I mean? And I had never had a McRib, by the way. I'd never had it before. Underwhelming, profoundly. It's not that good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's made of yoga mats.
Yeah. So Jesus and I had our McCommunion.
Nice.
What did you drink? What was your beverage?
I think it was just a Coke, honestly. I can't remember.
So Coke is the blood of Christ. If Coke is the blood of Christ, the body of Christ was the bread, we know that. The fish, I don't know. He might need his anal glands expressed. But what was the mayo? What part of his body was that?
Let's not answer that question.
The cult of Sobek would
I think
have
we've
something to say
answered
about
a
that.
lot here, repeatedly, every week.
It always comes back to Sobek. Every time. It always comes back to
the
Sobek.
calm god.
And whose fault is that?
You're right. Yeah, I deserved that.
Yeah. Who brought this up? Who planned...
I've built a coffin for myself is what I've done.
Yes, you have. I want to circle back on the idea, the topic of New Year's, because in leading into one of our other tried and true sketches, I want to do a deep dive because, like I said, I'm not a big fan of New Year's, and particularly I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions because I think that's all a motherfucking ploy. I think that's a government plant because I got no reason to feel better about myself in the new year than I did the day before. So I'm not going to go get a fucking gym membership and try and better myself. What for? So I'm saying New Year's resolution.
The high traffic.
What's the conspiracy behind the New Year's resolution? What are they trying to do to us? Why are they trying to make us change ourselves?
Look what they did to us.
Look what they did to us!
We'll buy more New Year's resolutions to benefit big self-help is what we'll do.
It's a capitalist trap is what it is.
It's big resolution. It's read between the lines.
They're pouring capitalism in the water.
Big resolution coming at you again 52 weeks later. I
feel so much less strongly about that than I do about Valentine's Day. I think if anybody's shoving anything down anybody's throats, pun intended, it's Valentine's Day. Like, I can't do it.
I understand that. That's fair.
It doesn't.
It can be cute. Like, if you want to give like flowers and chocolates to your loved one, that's great. It doesn't need to be like the majority of decorations for every store I walk into. You know what I mean?
This is about the most lukewarm take I've ever fucking made. But I don't on a holiday that's cards. I guess really you could compare the two as a card holiday. One being you got to get all of those very expensive pieces of paper that somebody is going to throw away effectively within the next week or two, maybe months if they're a great person.
Sure.
And
sure. If you're
New Year's is a holiday where you also get cards, but they're gym memberships.
Yeah.
So
and those stay in your wallet for at least a month.
At least a month. I was gonna say like a month. I was gonna like give a defensive 3 months estimate, but.
Okay,
it's been a while since I've been on that one, I guess.
That's conservative, liberal. Okay,
doesn't matter. Downright progressive.
It's downright progressive. We're gonna split the difference. Forget it.
Slamming the gas, whatever.
Slamming the gas, baby. We're gonna let Jesus take the wheel.
Right after he finishes eating, not while he's eating.
His spam sandwich.
Not while he's on his
Make sure he doesn't drink that wine first. Save that for once you're done driving.
No. You know what? Jesus is the best drunk driver. I can tell you right now. Jesus is the best drunk driver.
I still told him no, though. I still told him he wasn't good to drive because I'm a good friend of Jesus. Ended up being his designated driver. We did have to drop off some flower bouquets first, but everybody needs a ride home sometimes.
Before we got in the car, he said he needed to check me for my hymen. It was the weirdest thing.
I just had the worst thought.
Uh-oh. Okay. All right. Let's hear it.
Just like I just picture this scene of like trying Bunch of guys driving down the road. Jesus is at the wheel, and there's a really sharp turn, and he's not paying attention. And then car skids, and they're like, "Oh my God, we're gonna crash!" And Jesus turns and looks him in the eye, and goes, "Are we?"
But only he raises out of the moonroof of the car.
Right. And everyone thinks that he's gonna save all of them.
Are we?
But he only saves himself. He's like, I never said we.
Yeah.
I
Just
meant-
fucking T-poses out of the car, like rises up
Right,
into the
just-
clouds.
By we, I meant not me.
Oh, Happy New Year,
No,
everybody.
as they're like falling off the side of the cliff and he's ascending into heaven, he's like, "I'll see y'all there."
To a
just
ray of
like-
light.
He just like morphs through the door like Vision from Marvel, just like, whoop, sorry guys. I
He
gotta
goes,
bail.
By the way, I
into the
planned
ray
this
of
whole
light.
thing.
After he says that, and it closes, and you hear, "Uh-oh."
Don't worry, I'll put in a good word.
Turns out my friends were kind of pieces of shit.
Oh, shit. I
And Mary
wasn't really
Magdalene.
sure about that Jesus guy.
Turns
knew
out
I
he
shouldn't
didn't write
have
the rule book.
So yeah, he's a really good designated driver. Fuck.
Designated survivor.
Jesus is back, and this time he's not taking death for anyone.
And then Beyonce's song "I'm a Survivor" plays the background.
As he's T-posing out of the car. Spiraling.
Somewhere Kanye West is just really mad it's not one of his tracks on there.
No,
He's watching
Kanye was-
from a distance, like, I need my next music video to be this exact shit.
He's like, that was supposed to be me.
Had my agent calling Jesus for weeks.
I'm gonna sue your ass. That was supposed to be me.
I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm just saying that was supposed to be me.
Can we talk about Kanye West, actually? 'Cause
God. Please, while we're talking about Jesus, let's talk about Kanye West.
Sure,
right,
yes.
the Antichrist. So,
Directly related.
please don't strike this channel, Kanye.
Control
Don't
the
sue
media.
me.
I love you, Kanye. I listen to Graduation all the time, I promise. Did you know? Okay, I assume y'all know that he tried to run for president. Do you know anything about like what his platform was?
I assume he probably called himself the Black Trump at some point.
I don't know what it was. I knew about it, but I don't recall, and I think I did know at the time. Go
It
on.
was some insane shit that was like doomed to fail from the start. He wanted to start his own party, so neither Democrat nor Republican, and he said he wanted to call it the birthday party because when he's president,
about this.
every day is everybody's birthday.
It's called the Yay Party.
Yayo.
He would, oh yeah, because that's his new name.
That was a
now.
dab,
Yeah.
guys. It was a dab.
Oh,
I did
yeah.
that.
It's just-
You motherfuckers with
it's
the
been
dabs.
almost 10 years since that was a thing. That was a meme back in 2016.
You're
so-
gonna
That's
love
appropriate.
I'm
about
the episode coming out because I nailed you. I got you.
Wait, hold
That's
on.
appropriate because I'm about a
Congratulations.
decade behind in everything.
Yeah, you are old. So
Damn. It hurt so much more when he dabbed and did it. Fuck.
I'll have you know that Dev was the one that killed me.
I'm dead. Isn't there some music for this? I think there is.
Freeze frame.
Shit, cut it off before the copyright strike. I'm sorry, I thought that was my Beyonce button.
Finger slipped. It's all right.
honestly, it worked so well.
I have Seinfeld right next to my Beyonce button.
Imagine
Common
no.
misconception.
Imagine the episode of Seinfeld where somebody dies at like the end, and then that fucking bass riff comes in right afterwards.
The end of
Like
Lost.
Jerry Seinfeld dies a brutal, horrible, bloody death on screen, and then like the camera starts zooming it out, and then dang 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 dang.
I think actually now that we're kind of into this, I think this is really the only way I'm going to be able to get through 2025 is if I take every bit of news followed up by the Seinfeld theme music of just like, oh, Trump's deporting all the people in the U.S., even the natural born.
Excuse me. There's a thing that happened in quarantine that I've said it since, and it really would be a much better way to live most of the time. We started making all of these sound clips that have just been hitting the button on over here, but in Discord, because we were so bored and talking all the time online, we just started making like all of these random sound clips, and it became a competition of like who could find the more random, obnoxious, tedious sound clips to put in. When we had to go back to work, I was like, I really don't know how I'm going to get through life and communication without having a soundboard to smack when something stupid happens. And I really think it would be a much better quality of life if you could just have one on your chest that at any given time you could slap the Seinfeld button to make something macabre, well, even more horrific.
Gentlemen, I think we are beating around the bush. We've had a mystery. We've had a mystery on our hands for months now, right? And this is the mystery of the beer can. What are we gonna do about this?
You have to explain the beer can again.
Yeah.
Listen, yes.
I do.
And before you get at that, what he is saying is we are going to do a RAD LIB.
Brad?
Indeed.
Who's Brad?
Brad, he's that guy that hey Brad, no.
Friend of Jesus,
Sorry.
died in a car crash.
Sorry.
He was the guy in the passenger side of the car crash.
There was no driver.
No, a RAD LIB is one of our sessions where we are going to improv a story of our very own in the Mad Lib style, and we are going to have to try and make up our own story, a little horror story, throw some objects in there to help improve it or help move it along. So that's a RAD LIB.
Indeed it is, and I forgot to pull up the spinner wheels.
No, you're all good. And so our story for this RAD LIB is well, Dev's gonna have to give us that one.
Yeah, so this is based on we'll say this is based on a true story because I one day a couple of years ago noticed that someone at some point in history had screwed a flattened Bud Light beer can to my wall outside, like just beneath the roof where the roof meets the wall. I've sent you gentlemen a picture of this thing so that you can see it. But yeah, it's just, and it looks like it's been there for a while. I don't know anyone in my life who would have done this. Like at all. Like, I don't know where this came from. I don't know who. I don't know how. Yeah. We need to figure out. It seems like I'm scared to take it off because I'm worried about what is it hiding? You know, like what is it there to cover up? What is it holding back? You know, it's a barrier between our world and something else.
I would say that it's a clear and present danger because if Kid Rock happens to drive by your house, you know he's taking shots.
Oh shit! It's gonna be a Kid Rock drive-by.
Mm-hmm.
It's a magical protective field to shield me from
From Miller High Life.
Kid Rock. I almost said Chris
Yeah,
Rock.
you know what? Yeah, Kristen.
Opposite directions, but
Wrong.
Kid Rock, not Chris
Yeah,
Rock.
it's a magical barrier to protect you from the bullets of Kid Rock. No, it could be something much more sinister. Is it like a Pandora's box where like if you remove it, it's going to unleash all these horrors upon the earth?
What kind of Cenobite comes out if you open that Pandora's box?
Yeah.
And you know what it is? It's a drunk frat boy Cenobite.
Yeah. Yeah. Where instead of like pleasure and pain, it's like fucking beer pong.
Okay.
He just
Yeah.
has
Mm-hmm.
he has two 40s for hands.
Oh, okay. I'm getting some
Two
sparks.
Motlicker 40 Cenobite.
I'm getting some combustion
He's
going
got
here.
he's got backwards sunglasses, but like the sunglasses are eyes.
He's got a beer helmet fused to the top of his skull.
Um yeah, no. Okay. So I'm thinking like your main character. We're gonna call the main character Derek.
Derek.
We're gonna call him Derek. Derek has just moved into his new place, okay?
Okay.
His bachelor pad, whatever you want to call it. And so when he moves in, he sees this beer can on when he's cleaning up, he sees this beer can nailed to the outside of his house. And he's like, what the fuck is this thing doing here? That's so weird. And so, thinking nothing of it, pulls it out and throws it away and patches the hole. And so eventually, and like I was thinking before, like it all of a sudden, like, what if that Bud Light was like a marker? Or like you said, just like this key covering the gate to the Cenobite world or some drunken frat boy world. And so after he throws it out, he gets a
Domestic
knock,
obelisk.
domestic obelisk. And after he throws it out, he gets a knock at his door. And he's like, who the fuck could that be? And he shows up, and it's a bunch of drunken frat dudes with a kegs of beer. They're just like, yeah, let's rage. And then they just go piling into his house and just start partying. And he's like, who are you? I don't know who any of you are. What are you doing in my house? Why are you partying in my house?
This is the
Yeah,
worst horror
'cause
movie
my
ever.
house is also definitely not big enough for that. And maybe they take up like negative space. Like maybe they can just phase through walls.
This is the
Yeah.
scariest horror movie ever.
Any one of these fuckers around the wall
And shoot Miller High Life
Take a
everywhere.
huge shit.
take a huge shit.
So Dev's not a character in our story.
To be clear, Dev's not a character.
Okay, fair enough.
For
Yeah, it's somebody
insurance
named
purposes.
Do we need an item now?
We might. I have
think
yet
so.
to. I've
I'm
yet to
learning
add
ad-libs.
those.
I think-
Okay, no, you know what? There's one item on here that's just so good, I'm gonna mandate we include it. And that is the starched pair of Wrangler jorts. I want these frat boys to be wearing those.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
These frat boys are Canadian.
And you know what? That was a submission, I believe, from Chase Allman, actually. So, Chase, thanks for that one.
Thanks, bud.
Starch
Appreciate it.
press pair of jorts, baby.
See, that's
nice
how
and
you
fresh.
can identify them.
They
That's how
call
you
it
identify the false ones versus the real ones. Because there's like regular, real human frat boys, and then there's these frat boys. And these are the ones that wear the stretched pair of Wrangler jorts, or starched pair. Stretched pair.
It has a small percentage of like the polyester or the stretch material that makes it just like comfortable enough that it hugs.
Starched
also
venom. It's
gives you
called
air to
sexual
breathe.
experimentation. Look it up.
Oh shit.
So we have a premise. We have this character Derek who lives in a historic home in Arizona, and we need a plot. Like where's the conflict? Where do things go wrong? You know?
Well, at first it seems all kind of innocent, you know. Maybe these guys got the wrong house and they're showing up for a party. They brought booze at least, so it's not a full loss for him.
And there is literally actually a frat house across the alley from me, so it wouldn't be too out of place.
It's a college town, so it's not unnatural to see a group of young 20-somethings running around with beer trying to party. Mm-hmm. But it starts to get a little twisted where more people start coming, but these people have certain deformities like Cenobites.
Yeah.
But they're like party and drinking related. So like maybe a dude has just like, this is so fucking stupid. Instead of a bunch of pins through his head, he has a bunch of fucking like pool balls in his head.
He's got like shot glasses sticking out of
a dude who has I'm just trying to think of like shit you do. Two shot glasses for fucking eyeballs.
He's got paddles and it's buried in his ass cheeks. He can't sit down.
he's got a paddle buried up his ass. And like you said, there's a dude that has 2 40 ounces as hands. He comes in as Edward 40 hands, but they're not just taped to his hands. They're his actual fucking hands.
Yeah. I also like the idea of maybe they all look the same. Like they all have like deformities, but there are some that are like NPCs kind of that can just like split off and multiply like amoebas. And it's just fucking, they all look, it's the same guy with like short blonde hair, like you know the guy, like it's the same guy, just copied and pasted. And that's their like little scamps, their little minions, and they just like multiply like, hey bro, you want to party? Hey, bro.
The little
One of them is flayed. Their skin is completely off, and it's made into a flesh toga around them.
Yeah. Oh my god! And some of them start showing up with like pledges dressed as gimps on like leashes and chains and shit.
They wish.
Ooh, what if one of them instead of like a
party,
chest cavity,
man.
Instead of like a chest cavity, it was like a mini fridge. Pull out like a Red Bull and some vodka.
Oh my god, I'm loving this. Just for the sheer sake of like turning these drunks into like party zombies.
Yeah. Oh, and they're all wearing Vans, like the salmon colored ones specifically.
And trucker hats.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Fucking trucker hats.
That or their hats, but they all have the like University of Arizona logo on them. No. I'm gonna draw a line. Not University of Arizona, ASU.
One of them has their skin, like the skin on their neck is gone. It's just laid bare. It's just like windpipe and an artery, and then the skin on the inside is a collar. And then there's another collar that's a polo shirt on the outside. So they got the double collar.
And they just have it popped the entire time. It's just popped. Sure. Their skin is popped.
That was a real thing. I think we've talked about that before.
You know what else was a real thing that we're going to throw into this mix? Upside down visors.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. Ooh. Man.
With double flipped
I feel
colors.
like fashion things like that don't happen anymore. Like really big, regrettable ones that last a very questionable period of time.
This world might be a better place if it did. I'm just saying that now. It's a crazy thought. Fuck it. Bring back the seashell necklaces.
At least I'd have something negative to latch onto that wasn't, like complete doom. It was just kind of light bad. Upside down visors. That's
why we're not going to bring back Billabong.
Well, mom jeans are regrettable and those are happening again, so...
Well, hey, throw Jncos into the mix.
They're not
don't even joke about that, Zach. No, we're so close. We're so close to that happening already.
We've had several passes by the sun.
Yeah, I've heard people say that Y2K is in fashion now, so look forward to that. What's this beer can holding back, guys? What's it holding back? What's it keeping from entering into our world? Like, what evil? What is the threat that is posed by these frat creatures?
honestly, if it's to spill into our world a little bit and this podcast theme, the hell party, the party from hell, the party poopers, who are
Where
here
you
to
get
just
iced every night.
Yeah, that's the circle of hell. It's like for all the partiers.
yeah,
Like that's where they go.
Somebody
You get
ices
blackout
you.
wasted, and then you're blacked out for like eternity.
That is what this gateway was. It was the gateway into like the party hell. These are like the party demons who are like, you're all gonna die by party.
Zach, in case anybody
Fratboy
under
Elysium.
30 ever listens to this, you have to explain what icing is.
Okay. Holy shit. Okay. I can't believe I'm reaching back and thinking about this again. I thought this part of life was done. There was once called a drink called Smirnoff Ices. Are these still around? They're probably still around. There was
I've
once
seen
called a
them.
drink called Smirnoff Ices, and what you had to do was trick someone into giving it to them. So it was called icing them. So when you tricked them into taking a Smirnoff Ice, you had to get down on one knee and chug the entire thing in front of them with them. You had to do it with them. Such was coined the term icing. So this was like
It was
the
a
huge
law.
thing in like the first decade of the 2000s, and it was just like Coolio was doing it, man. You guys remember Coolio? Anyone remember Coolio?
No.
No, forget it. You know what? That was passe. Pre Y2K. Anyway,
Yeah, that sounds like a horrifying thing to ever happen to anybody, but it also does sound like something frat boys in the 2000s would do.
yeah, it was. Yes, it was a very college fratty thing. It had to have happened probably at every single party we were ever at. Sean and I went to the same college, and it was one of those things where someone saw it happen, the whole room just went, oh!
Oh yeah.
It's like, God damn it, man.
Because the room was full of awful people
So, oh yeah.
at all
So
times.
you know this is happening. So they've opened up the seventh circle of party hell, and that
Right.
circle is a circle of people being iced to death.
Right. So when the beer can is removed, are they here to remove the beer can, or does it just like fall off one day and Derek, sees the can, he's like, oh, I better take that out of there, and then all of a sudden there's like these party creatures, and they're here to bring icing to the world and just ice the entire planet. I don't know.
I think what it was like it was the cork.
This is the cork.
It was it was the cork keeping
Right.
the party evil from spilling into our universe.
No, listen, it's a metaphor for climate change. We talked about Mother before this started. So whenever they come out, if the beer can drops, the frat boy Cenobites get out and they ice the planet. But it's like a metaphor for climate change.
shit.
But instead of saying it's about climate change, they just make everybody drink Smirnoff Ice until the whole planet dies.
Bro,
Shit,
mic
bro,
drop.
that's deep.
Hell is freezing over.
Fratboy Elysium. Is that the title of this episode? Fratboy Elysium.
Oh man. God damn.
That's it. Frat Boy Elysium.
This is yes.
Matt
Frat
Damon.
Boy Elysium.
He wasn't.
That's one of my favorite indie bands.
Frat Boy Elysium. Just booked him this week.
Saw them when they opened for Ed Sheeran.
Oh my god, no.
Are frat boys in a vacuum? Are they still now exactly like then? Like, has anything changed?
I mean, their clothing has changed, but their personality hasn't.
Oh God!
I imagine probably very little has changed.
That would be a culture stuck in a vacuum.
That's a wild guess. So, but anyway,
They might be using slightly less date rape drugs, and that would be cool.
They might just be going all out, like physical. Like, we're not hiding anything. I'm just going for it.
That would mean the whole planet's getting better and healing, and you're wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. We're getting way off topic here. Anyways, I like that hell is freezing over, like the Bud Light. I mean, not the Bud Light. Scratch out. The beer can.
When the Bud Light hits.
Was the cork protecting the world from hell freezing over. And now these dudes are icing the entire world. And, like, little does the dude realize, like, he steps outside his apartment and sees, like, entire, like, wintry tundras. It's like, oh, shit, like, people have literally...
I want to propose an idea, because the Cenobites in Hellraiser, they also kind of come from another dimension. The lore is kind of weird in terms of Hellraiser. If you're like me and you read the Hellraiser comics growing up, it's a very fluid canon. So what if perhaps instead of it being a circle of hell, they're in some kind of alternate dimension, and they have been sealed there for a reason, because this has happened before in history. Somewhere down the line, there's an alternate timeline. Somebody had to cover up, and they had to contain this threat in some kind of phantom zone. And the only way, like the only path between our world and the phantom zone is this beer can.
I like that idea. It's like
so it's
a
like
pocket
some kind
universe.
Yeah, it's an existential threat of these frat boys giving everybody on Earth brain rot. What I want to know, like, why a Bud Light can specifically? Because you could put anything over that kind of barrier, right? But what does the Bud Light do to the frat boys? You know, like, why do they stay away from it?
Oh my God, this is so wrong.
It's not strong enough? Is that?
No.
I
No,
don't.
what happens is the money drains from them. Their lifeblood. Cash dollars fly out of them if they get near the Bud Light can. Because you can only afford natty ice if you're a frat boy. Thus, we further the whole metaphor.
I was gonna say, is this like gonna be like a Bud Light Coors Light war, where like Bud Light was the only thing that could stop the bullet from taking over the world and hell freezing over?
I like it. I like the idea that Bud Light is so trashy that if you come into proximity with it as a rich person, it like instantly drains your daddy's credit card. I really enjoy that.
Yeah,
that was my college experience. Was like you didn't get anything more expensive than the worst. At the time, it was natural light, and if you were a rampant alcoholic, it was natural ice, because it was the same beer, but doubled in alcohol or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was stronger somehow.
It was stronger. It was probably from the bottom of the vat or something. Who fucking knows?
Yeah. Ugh. Oh God,
It was the spit part of the brewing process.
Okay,
Zach.
hear me out, and we can cut this out if it's too much. But like,
Here we go.
okay, so right, Bud Light was under a lot of hot water for doing the commercial with the influencer. Okay, that was transgender.
Oh, this was the Kid Rock thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which triggered Kid Rock to have to buy a bunch of Bud Lights and then shoot them.
Oh no, Bud Light made money as they intended.
Thank you for your purchase. Would you like more to shoot?
It's working.
I don't care if you're not gonna drink it, man. Anyway, not important. And this pocket universe is like an incel right wing party hell of just like toxic party dudes, party frat boys that were finally contained by this Bud Light that had the power to hold it all back.
It's basically municipal waste with collars.
Their frat name is No Homo, but in Greek letters.
That's good. Goddamn, that's good.
So like, yeah. So, so the beer can is a metaphor for holding back the wave of toxic incel masculinity.
Right,
Over
much
the
like
world.
the beer can contains the toxic, nasty tasting substance that is Bud Light. So too
Exactly.
does it hold back the toxic masculinity?
Yeah, is it strong enough to hold it back
Or
forever?
does it hold in the toxic masculinity and the truth really comes out? And those bros are
Right.
sucking each other off.
Right, because when you
In
pop
their
the
hell
tab,
universe.
then
Because that's the thing about no homo. It's just like, it's not gay, but they're still doing it.
Listen,
And because they're doing it, it's not gay.
I don't.
yeah, I'm not gay, but $20 is $20.
There's the subplot. It like has to address the weird subculture of masculinity that is fraternities in college, wherein I had witnessed a Fratboy reunion from like decades before I was in college. So it was people who were in school in the 70s, 80s ish, and a lot of them came with their moms to the fraternity reunion because they were now out homosexual men who were living Animal House, because that was literally like somebody made Animal House, and then every frat boy on the planet was like, yeah, we're just like that now. That's our identity. We choose this. So when that goes on another decade or two after, people go, oh, I realized a couple things about myself, guys, and the uncomfortable truth is I hung out with you shirtless a whole lot because I'm sexually attracted to you.
You guys always saw me shirtless and in my underwear because it's what turned me on. Being
kinda
around guys
romantic.
doing that.
Honestly.
Right?
Isn't that kind of romantic? Like,
Now we're just
It's,
bros that can kiss 2 decades later.
see, it's not gay to kiss the homies goodnight.
No. No, that's how you protect your homies.
So that's the twist.
No, but you're
How
so
does-
right. Wait, no. That's it. Like, that's how you protect yourself from the brain rot. Like, when they try to ice you, the protection is you get your homie to kiss you goodnight. And that keeps you safe.
Oh,
You're vulnerable with your homies.
If you want to survive hell freezing over, you better plant a luscious kiss on your homie's lips and mean it, or you gonna freeze over in hell.
If you don't mean it, it doesn't work.
You gotta mean it.
Bro,
You don't mean it,
Bro, you gotta mean it.
I'll see you in hell. Okay, no, we're rolling with that. That's what's gonna happen. So we gotta. There needs to. I think there. Two things. One, we need to throw in another object, and two, there needs to be a vessel that feeds this to the main character, Derek, for him
Right.
to understand and solve it.
So if Derek is Dante, let's rename him to Dante because he needs a
Dante.
Virgil.
Because this is Dante's Inferno, baby. That's actually
Right.
the gay club that he always.
That they all refuse to go in.
And then they all refuse to go in.
I still think
do
we should
not
go
go in
with
there.
Fratboy Elysium, but I do like the Divine Fraternity
Divine Fraternity.
instead of the Divine Comedy. I'm gonna go ahead and
Fraternal,
roll the thing to make a
Roll
object.
the dibs.
All right, a mace.
Whew. Okay.
Well, it just says mace, so we could interpret that as like a medieval mace or like bear mace, you know.
Good point. Good point.
Which like a medieval type of mace isn't that too far out of the question because that's like a thing with colleges when they do graduation ceremonies. There's like a ceremonial mace they'll bring out. So if their fraternity antics get really wild, they could steal that shit, or we could just go with bear mace. Your call.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like bear mace, spray mace would be like the standard you would expect at a frat party for people trying to defend themselves against unwanted fraternal advances. So it feels apropos, but also I do like left field turns.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every time they try to give somebody Every time they try to give a female, what do they drink in this? Is it natty ice?
Yeah, they have. So. They're bringing in they're bringing in kegs and cases of natty ice.
They get maced every time they try to give somebody an open already drink.
See, this is why people should just smoke weed. Give up on the alcohol. Just smoke weed. It's so much better.
Yeah,
it's true. It's objectively true.
Yeah.
But so
it's not as funny as alcoholism.
Right. Yes. Much funnier. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe in order to fight back the plague, the flood of frat boys, maybe we need stoners. Like maybe that's what we need.
Okay. Maybe that's like his first solution. So going back to the vessel of him and getting into this, he's trying to figure out why this is happening, what their purpose is, how he can stop them. And so let's say a little bit of Deus Ex Machina, when he's pulled out that bottle and thrown it out, through all of this hell and bullshit, there appears to him like a good spirited ghost or whatever who's like, hey man, it's me.
It's Tommy Chong. Played by Tommy Chong.
Hey man, it's me, Tommy Chong. No, it's
you took down the beer can, didn't you, dude?
Oh no, you took down the beer can, man. You should have done that.
You weren't supposed to do that, dude.
It was a bad idea, man. You should have done that. No, he's like, you don't know me, but I'm the spirit of the person who put that beer can there in the first place. And you're like, what?
I only smoked weed out of it.
I used it as a pipe, man.
He was like, I was the one who originally opened it, but I was also the
dumped
one who
out
was
the
able
beer
to
and I
close it.
smoked some weed.
I said, it was the wrong beer can, man. I opened up the wrong beer can at a wrong frat party, and it was tainted by the frat boys, and I drank it, and it opened a portal to hell.
No, wait.
The party hell.
Pause.
Oh wait, you got something?
To ingest the theme that was just given to us, weed is objectively better than alcohol. A truism. He is around what becomes hell frat boys in the past, right? He opens up the Bud Light, and a bunch of people like look at him, half raise their cans, so like cheers to beers, and he dumps it out in slow motion onto the ground. And he takes some weed and crumbles it, lights it, and they disappear. They vaporize. They disappear. They go to hell.
Stabs the can with a knife, makes a hole out of it, puts the weed in.
He's like looking around. He's like, "What the fuck?" And then he just takes the beer can and just slaps it.
I do want the end of this, because I don't know if Smirnoff Ice comes in glass bottles, but if it does, the end of this does need to be main character and Tommy Chong taking an empty Smirnoff ice glass bottle and turning it into a bong.
They absolutely did.
It does need to end that way.
They absolutely did come that way.
I think it could be like Tommy Chong could be the pleasant ghost, or he could be like a shaman too.
He could be like a shaman.
Yeah. You know, like main character guy Derek goes to his friend or his neighbors and like, yo, this shit's fucked. I don't know anything about it. Do you know anything about it? No, but I know someone who might. And then they go to like fucking Tommy Chong's like sanctuary, which is just behind the Chiba Hut or whatever.
The Chiba Hut.
Yeah,
that's a restaurant that exists here. It's a fucking awesome restaurant, by the way.
Yes, it does, because it exists right here in Chicago, and I eat it all the time. It is one of the only places that I struggle ordering from there, because all of their subs are fucking delicious.
Oh yeah,
amazing delicious, and they're all weed terms. But anyway, he takes him to Tommy Chong's little smokeout hut, and he's like, all right, hey, listen, man, my dude has some questions about, this beer can in his place, and he's like, first you gotta get stoned with me, man. And he's like, okay.
Oh, you didn't take the beer can out, did you?
He's like, oh yeah, oh you didn't take the beer can out, man, did you? And he's like, oh well, yeah, I did. He's like, oh man, that was a bad idea, man. You shouldn't have done that.
Man.
He's bad, man. All right, we gotta get stoned. I gotta tell you this story so you can see it happen. And then he gets him really stoned, and he tells him about the dude who lived there before, and he had this party, and the wrong group of people came over, these frat dudes who tainted a case of beer to get at like some of these girls and stuff. And the dude was like, a bear, and drinks the beer, and like Sean said,
The dude was a bear, like a bear, like the archetype of a bear, like big and hairy.
No, like like the sexual bear, and hanging out with the wrong type of crowd, dudes who tainted drinks for women, and he drinks it, and goes and smokes weed with it, and the combination of the toxic masculinity magnitude of the liquid and his sexuality and weed mixed together opens this portal to hell.
Right.
to incel hell.
Right. Okay. So that whole combination thing was kind of like the cube in Hellraiser, right? It opens the door. It opens the door into this dimension, and then all this kind of like toxic stuff sort of swirls together and manifests into like a physical manifestation of toxic masculinity.
Yeah, or the act of drinking that spiked beer that was meant for a girl opens this incel hellscape that starts taking over the world, and the only way he ends up defeating it is if he is when he turned it into a bong. He thought it was the end. He was like, well, only one way to go out, my man. And he just stabs the beer can with a knife, makes a hole, puts the weed in, and like smokes it up. And like Sean said, like they all just like dissipate. And he's like, whoa.
So they have to go to like the hell dimension, right? At this point, like Divine Comedy style, Tommy Chong's gonna take him through the layers of hell.
He has to drive the hell back into the hell dimension. This is gonna be like I'm putting my hands in front of the camera. This is gonna be like some Stranger Things shit. He's got to like drive the hell back into the hellscape, and blow it all out, and then put the beer can back on.
Right. Did we throw away the beer can? Do we need a new beer can? Or does
That's
it have
what I'm
to be
thinking. Like,
that?
should it be the same beer? I feel like it should be the same beer can because it was the one that was tainted, so it has that scent of toxic incel masculinity.
Right.
And it was the power of the man's sexuality and weed that was able to conquer and press that force back in, that toxic masculinity force back into its hellscape.
Right. Okay. I am thoroughly lost.
I am too, actually. I wasn't going to say anything, but I'm totally lost.
I don't know. I know I'm off the deep end. I'm just rolling with the punches here.
I'm working on it. I for some reason the concept of like a Fratboy Divine Comedy is just like it's not leaving my brain. Like I can't let go of it. But the problem is I've only read the Inferno part of the Divine Comedy. I haven't read the whole thing, so I didn't even know like everything.
Yeah.
But like my thought was like some kind of Virgil, but at the same time, if it has to be the same beer can, there's potential for a MacGuffin chase there.
Right.
Of some kind. So you're like, oh, you didn't throw away the beer can, man, did you? You gotta
that was a
shit,
good idea, man. You gotta find that shit.
Oh, man.
So he gives them some kind of trinket to help them find this beer can, and I think we can... Oh, we didn't even implement the mace, did we? Shit.
Not fully, but I think it would be a good point to be like he finds it and defends himself from one of them when they start like getting violent and aggressive.
All right, maybe Tommy Chong gives him like a special sort of bear mace. He's use this wisely, brother, and it's like bear mace that specifically repels these like these interdimensional frat boy beings. And so that's how you defend yourself from them if they come at you. Is you use the special Cenobite bear mace to drive them off. And so that gives our main character a fighting edge. That's good. And we've also had some exposition from Shaman Chong about like the lore surrounding like the creation of these beings and what they want, which what they want seems to be just to give the entire world fucking brain rot, make everybody drunk.
They just want ice. They want to ice everyone.
They're trying to provide
They're
tasty
like the
alternatives
flood.
of
Make them the
doom to
target
everybody.
for unwanted sexual advances.
Yeah, they're like the flood, where they exist to consume and nothing else. You know, like they're less like having a goal. They're more just like an infection. This just exists to infect. And
Yes.
just to eat.
Like They Live and Hellraiser mixed together.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I think this would be a good time for a next object, because then we can kind of work towards the next arc of this story, and
Right. Get into
Gonna
that
have
third
to.
act.
What are you doing, step bro?
Oh my god,
Oh, I love that one.
you can't.
What are
You can't.
doing, step bro?
The thing that came up on the wheel was a bag of manure, and that came up right as you did the "What are you doing, step bro?" And I'm like, I don't even know what the implications of that are, and I don't want to find out.
Signals.
A
But
bag
what
of manure.
what are the implications of a bag of manure in this particular story? What happens here? Do they have to find the beer can in a landfill? Why would there be manure in a landfill?
Or
It's kind of all manure.
I was gonna say it could be like it could have gotten accidentally mixed into. Maybe he was one of those people who's just really bad at taking out their trash and recycling. I'm gonna start taking swings at people who don't fucking recycle their shit correctly. If you're gonna recycle, if you got a fucking recycle can right next to your garbage can, you can put the fucking recycle stuff right in that can, and the garbage right in the. No, sorry, never mind.
We can go we can go with something similar to that, because like maybe it did make it to the trash can or the recycling bin, but it fell off of the machine, like it fell off of the truck.
There you go.
On the way to the landfill, so
like
it
that.
ends up in some kind of farm outside the city where there's cows, or there's some sort of area where there's cows. It gets blown off the side of the road, and I guess it gets caught in a pile of shit. And so when the main character uses his special bong-shaped dowsing rod to find this thing,
My dowsing rod.
yeah, whatever he uses to locate the beer can, he finds it in a pile of manure, and he's just got to take the whole bag because he can't like be staying out there all day. So he's got to just bag it up, take it back with him. That's my use of that. Do with that what you will.
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair play on a bag of manure.
I mean, my problem is like, why wouldn't he just pull it out of the manure with the bag instead of like take the whole pile of manure? You know what I mean? Like,
I'll eat the shit.
maybe it's a weapon. Maybe
I mean,
maybe
like
he's rushing. He's rushing because there's like a trail of frat boys behind him, like a whole herd of them.
Yeah, mind you, like this is like a chase scene. Okay, he's
Right.
the chase is on. He's got to get to that that can, and the hell freezing over is getting worse. The incel zombies are taking over, baby.
Right.
And
Whoever the farmer is in that farmhouse, he's already been iced. It's over. You know, like they're coming to get him. And so he's got like, oh, I don't have time to fucking sift through all this shit. I just got to bag it all up and drive with it. And him and whoever his buddy is, he's like, is that a bag of cow shit? Like, what's that about? He's like, drive, fucking drive. They see all the frat boys in the mirror, like, "What's up?" It's like, "Oh God, we gotta get the fuck out of here." He steps on it.
Going, bro? I just want to party.
Let's play some beer pong, bro.
You want to play some beer pong?
Bro.
Bro. Every time he kills one of them or hits one of them, they go down going, bro.
This is a chorus of, bro.
Running them over with cars. Bro, bro, bro.
So we gotta push all this frat boy army of weird Cenobite zombie things.
So
drink a lot.
He's got to
Back
go to
into
the
the-
source,
Right.
which is back at his place. He's got the beer can, and he goes back home, and he sees like a tear in the fabric of reality,
Right.
and he goes
Tears
through
getting
it,
bigger.
and he steps
So
through.
he's going into Fratboy Elysium.
Well, I don't know. Should he go in, or should he just...
Yeah, I like that because
Sew up the
that'll
game.
give us some opportunities to figure out who the king of the frat zombies is.
Right, like there's got to be a main antagonist behind all of this, right? Like, it's one thing to
think
have
it's-
just a bunch of mindless zombies running around, but like, there was obviously a source. So what if it was like the king incel is like the dude who tainted the beer can?
What if it's Sobek?
What if
Too
it was
fertile.
What if it was the president of the fraternity and the president was freaking
I
Sobek?
swear to fucking Christ, I thought you were gonna say, "What if it was the president of the United States?" And I was like,
It was the president of the United States, and he's
"No, you
sitting
know what?
there-
No, you know what? It's JD Vance, is what it is. He's the king of Fratboy Elysium. It's JD Vance.
Vanilla ass fucking bad guy you've ever seen in your life.
And
Just
he's
fucking
fucking
couches
windmilling
back there.
his dick everywhere, just
Slapping it off a leather couch.
and he's like, "Wow, this is a really scary hell. This
Yeah.
is what incel hell looks like. Just JD Vances and fucking
Right, they're the upper
Pete
they're
Hegseths,
the upper like bureaucrats.
Matt
and then
Gates."
just- yeah. And then like the frat boys are just kind of like their little soldiers spreading their right wing propaganda. But
Ooh. Ooh. Who was the kid who invented 4chan? Or not 4chan, excuse me, Q. Q Anonymous.
Oh,
right, the palace that the king lives in is called Pizzagate.
There's,
King
It's
incel,
Jordan-
bro.
there's no basement.
Maybe it's Jordan Peterson. I feel like Jordan Peterson would be funnier.
Oh my god, that
No,
would
it's
be
Richard
fucking
Spencer.
hilarious. He doesn't have any deformity. It's just Jordan Peterson, and then when he talks, his
my
voice
God,
is so high and
yeah.
quivery and weird.
Alternatively, you said Richard Spencer, but for whatever reason, for a second, I thought you were going to say Ricky Gervais.
Wait, you cut a little
I
bit.
feel
Say that
like
again.
weirdly, he'd be a good pick for
Wait,
that
who?
kind of part. Ricky Gervais.
Oh.
He'd be like a really.
Bro,
I feel like he'd be a good cast. He sucks as a person, but I feel like he'd be a good cast for that role.
I just feel he's not broy
Bro.
enough.
bro,
Yeah.
bro.
I mean, he would, but I'm thinking like,
I think being English reduces your bro factor
a
by,
little
like,
bit, a
10
little.
points. Yeah, slightly. There's a slight
In the
debuff.
American frat perspective. But yeah, definitely like a Jordan Peterson, bro. Like, oh, you've discovered my lair. I don't know if that's what he sounds like.
No, that's kind of what Jordan Peterson sounds like. He looks like he's like Lord of the Rings. What the fuck?
Gollum.
Gollum. He's like Gollum, kind of like this is Jordan Peterson, but just do his regular voice because it's kind of like once those two mix together, it makes a lot of sense.
It's a little nerdier, though. I would say it's a little nerdier.
You're right. I'm not doing it justice. It's way
more
more
nasally,
aggravating
Oh,
than
it's,
that.
it's me, king of the incels, Jordan Peterson.
That was good.
I have 12 rules for life.
And you're like, oh no, I can feel this power trying to turn
I wrote
me into an
a book
incel.
of 12 more rules of life, but it's very heavily influenced by benzodiazepines. I can't stop taking them. Please help.
Who would listen to this guy? Maidenless.
And then like
Maidenless. I have no bitches. It's terrible.
and then,
I'm out here
and
trying to get bitches. It's been 300 years.
so and his smugness is just like unleashing this torrent of energy that's just like he can't get past, and he's like trying to fight it, and he's like "Ugh." And then like all of a sudden Tommy Chong's ghost shows up, and he's like, whoa. Tommy, what are you doing here? He's like, oh man, I must go a little too high, man.
He
I'm
has
not
smoked
supposed
too
to be
much,
here.
man.
I smoked too much. Oh, you know you're supposed to kill him, right?
Dimension.
Use the beer can, bro. Use the beer can, man. It's like some Star
Jordan
Wars shit.
Peterson has like some sort of psychic interference that he can do to make someone feel like they're being iced, like just by looking at them or whatever. And so like main
That's
character
what the
guy
energy is
can't.
emitting, this feeling of being iced, like.
Yeah, but here's where it goes. Here's where it goes. So our main character is like trying to slay Jordan Peterson with the chosen sword of destiny or whatever.
The chosen
whatever he's
beer
gonna
can of
use it.
destiny.
Yeah, the beer can of destiny, and or the bong of destiny. It's just not working, because of this psychic interference that Jordan Peterson has. And you know, there's only two genders. Oh God, I can't move this sword.
That's
but-
right, yeah.
So Tommy Chong appears. Deus Ex Machina. He appears as like, oh, I must have gotten a little too high. this is the wrong strain, man. I shouldn't have smoked this strain.
Oh, it's the wrong strain, man.
Smoke the
Yeah.
forbidden strain.
Yeah, and so main
All hope
character's
was
like,
lost.
oh my God, Tommy Chong, you're here. Thank God, I have some help. And Tommy Chong's like, oh, you're trying to kill him, man?
Like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
gotta
helping,
smoke
man.
the right shit for that. You can overcome his psychic interference if you smoke some of this, bro. It gives you like a pre-roll. It's like, man, thanks, Tommy.
Oh shit.
And that like allows you to, it gives you a shield from the psychic damage that Jordan Peterson's incel rhetoric has on your brain.
This is
great.
perfect.
And so he's able, and once he gets really high on it, he's able to pass through the energy shield and walk right up and just cuts
yeah,
Jordan Peterson's
fucking cuts
throat
his
with
head
the
off.
side of the beer can,
Yeah.
the smashed beer can. And he holds up his head. He's like, "Look at your god now, incels!" And they're all like, "Bruh."
Now this car has everything.
Now that he's decapitated, they're all like, "Bro!" And they start like
Or
dying
maybe-
and fading away.
Maybe he gives some kind of like Braveheart speech instead. Just like, you don't need to drink anymore. You don't need to take the Smirnoff Ices anymore.
No
Just
more
smoke weed.
icing.
Just smoke weed.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Weed. Just smoke weed. See?
And
Weed saved the day.
that's when you take the Smirnoff Ice bottle and you turn it into a bong. See? There you go.
He holds up, he doesn't say anything. He holds up the head in one hand, and then he holds up a bottle of Smirnoff in the other, dumps it all out, and turns it into a fucking bong.
Yeah.
And smokes right in front of them all, and heals them all with the power of weed.
Right. They
Dimmu
all wake up.
Bongir
And they're
plays
like,
in the
oh, hear it
background."
again.
Dimmer Bongir.
Dimmu Bongir.
You forget
talk
I have
about
to,
Dimmu
I have to
Bongir
edit this garbage.
for 2
I gotta
seconds.
remember everything you motherfuckers say.
Yeah, seriously.
I can't believe that I'm so wildly out of touch that I can find Dimmu Bongir on YouTube. I can get that recommended to me, but have no idea what Dimmu Borgir is.
I love
The world we
And
live in.
then I said-
If that doesn't
I said-
explain to you how wrong the world is right now, I don't know what will.
It's all upside down.
It's all upside down.
The
Dogs and
internet has
cats
done
living
terrible.
together.
Mass hysteria.
terrible and wonderful things to us, because I feel like Dimmu Borgir could only exist because the internet exists. You know,
This is true. This is true.
look him
You're
up, by
spitting
the way,
philosophy now.
listener. It's a gimmick band. I believe it's The Witch's Stone by Dimmu Borgir. Was the
Well,
one
they
that
got
I
to go
listened
back
to.
on the catalog for that one.
Yeah, it's the
Do a bit
only
of a
acceptable
stretch.
black metal song. There are no other acceptable black metal songs. This is the only one.
All the others are dead now. Thank you. Good night.
They've been defeated and or are obsolete.
They always were.
But I think that's a pretty good ending. He cuts his head off, turns Smirnoff Ice into a bong, and gets everyone high and heals them all. And the gate suddenly closes, and there's no more having to heal band-aid it with a beer can. It's just gone because
Yeah.
they're all on weed now.
I like the idea of like a final scene too. Is like Derek's back at his home. He's resting, and he looks outside. It's a nice sunny day. Takes a deep breath, picks up his Smirnoff ice bong, packs a bowl, smokes it up, and that's how it ends.
And then he picks
he's
up a
just
Bud Light beer can and drinks.
He passes the bong to Tommy Chong, and then he's
A bong to chong.
yeah.
Classic move.
The end.
The end.
We call that one. What do we call it again?
Bong to chong.
Elysium. What was it?
Oh, it
Fratboy
was,
Elysium.
Hold on, I wrote it down. Fratboy Elysium.
Fratboy Elysium.
Incredible. We'd like to thank Unveiling Nightmares for hosting us on their channel.
Bainham Books Press now.
Yeah, well, is the channel still Unveiling Nightmares? Or is it
I think it's probably still Unveiling Nightmares for now. but
Unveiling Nightmares / Bainham Books Press?
To note
thank
that
you for
they-
hosting
yeah.
us. Yeah. Thank you for hosting us, and please subscribe. Please like the video. Please comment. You say literally whatever bullshit you want. It helps the algo. So, who does our soundtrack again?
Shout out to Bottle Rat, who's from our very own Shawnee Satan, his band. Check him out of Pittsburgh. You can listen to him on all your listening devices. The album is called All My Friends Are Animals. The song's called Teenage Jacket.
Well,
So
no, I
check
just
'em
work
out.
here.
Links in the doobly-doo. Links,
Yes.
and links to all our stuff as well. Zach, I know you got some stuff coming out this year. That's exciting.
Check out
Talk
all of our
about your
links. We
stuff.
all got some great stuff coming out. If you want to get a shout out on the podcast, throw out some suggestions to us, as you heard in our Rad Libs segment here. You can get your name out there. A shout out to Chase in this episode for his suggestion used. So you want that? Throw one out to us.
Yeah, thank you for those fucking Wrangler jorts.
Yeah, kiss
Appreciate
your
it.
bros.
Starch
Kiss the
press,
rose on
baby.
their supple lips.
All right, y'all. Until next time, keep it real.
Y'all teenage.